Hey,
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randy Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
David Jolly, he was a Republican. He left because he didn't want to deal with all this, lying and thieving and chaotic mess that Donald Trump is. And he was on Nicole Wallace's show, and she asked him, what is the deal with the Republicans when it comes to impeachment? And he explained they're a bunch of lily-livered cowards. They're being intimidated by this man.
These are the moments where my anger is somewhat palpable because you've just got to be honest. These are, in today's Republican Party, spineless politicians, rotten to the core, without virtue, without any level of human integrity, devoid of self-respect, self-reflection, without courage, and without the moral compass to recognize their own malevolence. And one day, maybe they will have the recognition of how they failed the country and themselves in this moment. But that would be giving them credit that somewhere down deep they have the goodness to recognize how to reconcile their own failings with what is right and just in American politics, and frankly, what is right and wrong in the eyes of adults and children alike. And there's no other example. And why no argument will ever work for Republicans, and I agree, they inevitably will make the case this is not impeachable. The problem is it requires every single Republican to align with Donald Trump and say that only Donald Trump speaks the truth.
Wow.
That Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, a man of honor and Purple Heart recipient, does not speak the truth. Ambassador McKinley, somebody who's referred to as the Dean of the Foreign Service Corps, does not speak the truth. Ambassador Yovanovitch, somebody who dedicated her life to promoting freedom and U.S. ideals on the world stage, does not speak the truth. Only Donald Trump does. And there is no greater example of selling your soul to a charlatan than what Republicans are doing right now in the House and the Senate. And their legacies are on the line just as much as Donald Trump's. We know the character of Donald Trump. We know the failings of Donald Trump. What we're watching play out in this impeachment proceedings is the failings of a Republican Party and every single member that goes along with this.
Preach it, brother. Preach on. That is an amazing array of language. Okay, malevolence, spineless, charlatan. Nobody speaks the truth but Donald Trump, the biggest liar that's ever been recorded in the history of lying politicians. The breadth and the depth and Donald Trump lies about everything. He lies about, the Saudis. He lies about the weather. He lies about knowing about windmills causing cancer. There's nothing he won't lie about. There's absolutely nothing. But the Republicans are going to have to present the case, the idea that everybody, that Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, Fiona Hill, McKinley, Tim Morrison, Volker, who was a Republican witness, by the way, all of them, everybody told a lie, and the only person telling the truth is Donald Trump. That is bizarre, and there ought to be the Oscar nominations came out. There's big contra tops. Oh, no women this year. Oh, no actors of any, let's just, the walk of shame, maybe they'll get so incensed in Hollywood about the lack of women and the lack of people of color, that they'll do a walk of shame. We need a politician's walk of shame, okay? Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Donald Trump, even Matt Getz, who's finding out that even the Trumpiest of the Trumpanzees isn't ever going to be loyal enough for Donald Trump. We need a walk of shame. This is unbelievable. Let him drag that around just along with the impeachment, like the chains, attached to Bob Marley in A Christmas Carol. The chains of shame. So disgusting, like the toilet paper on his shoe when he was, ascending to Air Force One. That, boy, oh boy, we are in such deep trouble with this man. I can't even tell you. Our alliances they're gone. When you lose the special relationship with Britain, when you lose Angela Merkel, When you lose the Australians, there is nobody left to come to our aid or to chip in or to bear the burdens. It's unbelievable what he's doing. Aaron in New Mexico.
Hi, Randy.
Hi, Aaron.
It's me again.
Hello.
Hey, you know what? I love your truth and your passion. It is epic. I love it. I mean, you're the only show that I ever call. You're it. But anyways,
lucky me.
yeah, I was going to tell you that too.
Uh-huh.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, this all started with George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Rumsfeld, put us into this war of lies with Iraq. I mean, they did so much damage to that country, and they were pretty much, they didn't do anything. They were innocent. I mean, they pillaged their resources and everything. It's horrible. And also, I think Trump is like Jim Jones, and his followers will drink the Kool-Aid no matter what.
Well, it's like I said, they don't even, have to be forced to drink the Kool-Aid. They order it off the menu.
Yeah, it's it.
They want the Kool-Aid. They feed on it. It's a bunch of sycophantic zombies that follow him. I feel bad because, they're going to have their moment of awakening just like they did with W. I mean, I remember at the beginning of the Iraq War, obviously people were calling, oh, you're a horrible American. You don't support the troops. I was like, but ma'am, I am a troop. Well, it doesn't matter. You don't support the troops and you're not American and you're not patriotic. People were flying these American flags and attacking an unarmed nation at the same time. And then all of a sudden, as this unfurled and it unfolded and the money got stolen and the money got sent and the money just disappeared and woo, people started dying. Then they said, oh, I never supported George W. Bush. What? The same thing's going to happen with this Trump guy. The same thing. And all the people that supported him, they're going to deny that they ever did because that's how disingenuous they are. Okay? Now, you got 71% of independents. 71% of independents, and they are the ones who literally decide elections. 56 of all Americans, 56%, and 39, almost 40% of the GOP want witnesses in this impeachment trial. Okay? Mitch McConnell is going to pay the price. If Kentuckians show up and Kentuckians vote, Mitch McConnell is toast, and he needs to be. This man has said he has said point blank, everything I do, I coordinate with the White House.
Make a decision about the way forward. And everything I do during this, I'm coordinating with White House counsel. There will be no difference between the president's position and our position as to how to handle this to the extent that we can. We don't have the kind of ball control on this.
Ball control.
That a typical issue, for example, comes over for the House. If I don't like it, we don't take it up.
No,
we have no choice but to take it up. But we'll be working through this process, hopefully in a fairly short period of time, in total coordination with the White House.
This is sick. This is not American. This is not justice. Again, they'll take an oath to do impartial justice, and they've already told you 8 ways to Sunday, they're not going to do justice, let alone impartial justice. They're not going to do anything at all to hold this president accountable for his obstruction. They're not going to do anything for his extortion of Ukraine, who just had an airliner shot down in the middle of Iran hostilities by a Russian missile system. Wow. It's just a coincidence, people. It's just a coincidence. Chris in Oklahoma. No, Oakland. Oakland?
Oakland. Yeah, Oakland.
Okay.
Hey, Randy. Excuse me. I have something for the Republicans to drag around, like you were talking about earlier. For decades, they've been hitting Democrats with a kind of lizard-brained, simplistic, black and white, often disingenuous talking points that are really don't work on people with the ability for nuanced thought and are hard to refute without long, rambling, nuanced thought. But I want to thank Republicans. I really want to thank them for finally distilling themselves down to the point where now we get to do that to them. So I'd like to invite them for the next several decades to look forward to being a party-turned-cult of liars, criminals, and traitors that has weaponized hypocrisy and turned its back on we the people, our Constitution, and the rule of law itself. And there's a talking point for you, and that's something they can carry around. And it's going to be a while until they live that down.
Yeah, and the way that I like to put it is that the elite, the entrenched, the swampiest of the swamp creatures, a la Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, etc., they do not trust the unwashed masses to self-govern, and that is why they do this. They think Americans are stupid, undereducated, that they are poorly organized, and they can take advantage of them, and they do. And that's what swamp creatures are all about. And if you could find somebody more swampy than Mitch McConnell, I'd like to know.